Hindi po kasi, ang problema, nagbago na kasi 'di ba yung mga batas. May bagong batas sa Amerika, ito nga yung National Defense Authorization Act, itong ENDA, na alam natin, hinahayaan na magkaroon ng regional contingency stockpile para sa Taiwan. At maliwanag doon na pwede nila ilagay sa iba't ibang parte ng region, assuming the alliances that are now prevailing, perhaps Japan, Australia, and elsewhere. I am simply curious because an American newspaper, by way of example of said regional stockpile, uses as an example the Philippines and the firing of the Javelin anti-tank weapons on April 13, 2023 in Fort Magsaysay, Philippines. So we are clearly being identified as one of the areas where this regional contingency stockpile for the defense of Taiwan will be located. Are we in agreement with that? Yes, Senator Gatchalian, please.
Madam Chair, may I add? I think most of our constituents, including myself, fear that this agreement may lead to the Americans using our country as a staging area for their military activities outside of the Philippines, so whatever that is. And that is actually in the minds of our people, our constituents, including ourselves. So may I ask, in line with your question, may I ask Yusek Galvez or Yusek Manalo that will this lead to will this lead to something that the Americans let me rephrase my question. Will this lead to the Americans using our country as a staging area, as a jumping point for their military activities outside the purpose of EDCA and outside the purpose of the MTD? I think that is a very important basic question to answer, because a lot of our constituents fear that the Philippines might be embroiled in matters that does not concern us. And we also fear that the Philippines might be used as a jumping point for military activities outside of what this agreement intends to do. So let me just ask that basic question, Madam Chair.
Secretary Manalo, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Mr. Senator, for your statement. I think your concerns, of course, are well-founded. And I have always made it clear, whenever asked about EDCA, for example, that it's clearly, as far as we are concerned, it is not aimed at any third country. It is mainly for the use of the Philippines and in connection with our treaty with the United States. All I would like to add further is that in connection with Madam Chair's point made a bit earlier on paragraph 3 of Article 4, I would just suggest that the implementation of this particular paragraph should be read in conjunction with, for example, paragraph 3 of Article 1, which clearly stipulates where, or would suggest where, such material, whatever other assets, would be used. And that would be in conformity with the objectives laid out in paragraph 3 of Article 1. In other words, for security cooperation exercises, joint combined training, humanitarian assistance, and any other activities as may be agreed upon by the parties. So whatever new activity that could arise would have to be subject to agreement by both parties. So I think there's no automatic interpretation to this paragraph under Article 4. It should be read in conjunction with the purposes of the the EDCA itself in Article 1. And one of the key points there also is that it would require the consent of the parties. So perhaps that's what I could add to the questions raised this morning by the honorable senators.